The Schemer by Kimberley Chambers. Read by Annie Aldington. Prologue. The woman sat on the deck sipping a glass of vintage champagne. The weather was glorious, and the heavenly smell of the ocean always had a calming effect on her. As the man reappeared, the woman smiled at him lovingly. Usually, when they sailed their boat, they brought friends along with them, but today the man had insisted they sail alone. "I want it to be just the two of us for once. That's why I never told you we were going out on the boat until this morning. I wanted to surprise you and spoil you rotten." And surprised and spoilt rotten the woman had been. Mussels in garlic butter, salmon en croûte, strawberries and cream were all prepared and served up for her by her wonderful man. She had a surprise for him also, and as soon as he sat back down she would tell him what she'd been dying to tell him for weeks. "Come over here, babe, and look at this," the man said, gesticulating for the woman to join him. The woman walked over to the right-hand side of the boat and put her arms around the man's toned, sun-tanned waist. "I can't see nothing. What am I meant to be looking at?" she asked, rather bemused. Knowing it was now or never, the man forcefully grabbed the woman by the shoulders and swung her around so that her back was positioned against the gunwale. "I'm sorry, but me and you are over. I don't love you anymore and I'm going back to England." "Stop mucking about! You're not funny," the woman said, with a hint of panic in her voice. "I ain't fucking mucking about," the man replied, as he put one hand around the woman's throat and used his other to lift her up by the crotch. "Please, God, no! Why would you want to do this to me? Why?" the woman screamed, as her feet left the safety of the deck. "Because you know too much about me," the man replied, his face devoid of emotion. With one last movement, he threw her to the mercy of the sharks. The last words he heard her scream were, "I'm pregnant!" Putting his hands over his ears so he didn't have to listen to anything else she might yell out, the man then calmly returned to the helm. Chapter 1. 1983. Stephanie Crouch's stomach was full of butterflies as she marched up Dagenham Heathway Hill towards the train station. It had taken her ages to decide what to wear, but she was happy with her choice of denim pedal pushers, a flash dance-inspired ripped grey sweatshirt and gold pump ballet shoes. Not only did she look trendy, but felt comfortable as well. "Hurry up, Tam! You're walking as fast as a tortoise," Stephanie complained to her best friend. Tammy Andrews stopped dead in her tracks. The stereo system she was carrying on her shoulder had all but broken her back. "Sod you, Steph. You can carry it the rest of the way yourself. I ain't one of them donkeys, you know." Laughing, Steph handed her pal the carrier bag of goodies they'd purchased earlier, and relieved her of her burden. "Why did you drag us up here so early anyway? You know we don't get back till about 6 and it's only 4:30. We should have drank our cider in the park and then come up here. My mum would kill me if anyone she knows catches me drinking and smoking." Ignoring her friend's concerns, Stephanie stood outside the station and planned her next move. She knew that Wayne Jackman went to every West Ham home game, and she knew he arrived back at Dagenham Heathway at approximately 6 o'clock. "I don't want him to think we're waiting for him, so I think we should sit opposite the station. He lives in Digby Gardens, so he's bound to cross the road," Steph said confidently. Unlike Stephanie, Tammy was no fan of Wayne Jackman, the school heartthrob. Wayne, who was usually referred to as Jacko, was in the year above them at Dagenham Priory. Although Tammy had never spoken to him on a one-to-one basis, she'd seen and heard enough about him to know that he was bad news. He might be breathtakingly good-looking with his blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, but he was also flash, blatantly loved himself, and had a reputation of being a bit of a bully. Holding the stereo system between them, the girls strolled across the pedestrian crossing, sat down on the pavement outside a shop, and delved into their bag of goodies. Neither came from wealthy families, so the £3 they both received as pocket money every week was pulled together at the weekend to ensure they had a good time. Strongbow cider,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?